The story of Prophet Idris alayhi salam. Prophet Idris alayhi salam, known as Enoch in the Bible, is regarded as either the second or third prophet in Islam. There are 25 prophets mentioned by name in the Quran. Some historians and scholars like Ibn Kathir consider Prophet Adam's alayhi salam third son, Sheeth or Seth, as being his successor and carrying on the responsibilities of prophethood. However, his prophetic status in Islam is not definitively confirmed. The details of his life come from older scriptures that have been distorted and corrupted. So, in Islamic tradition, it is allowed to read and learn about his story, provided that the lessons drawn do not contradict the teachings of the Quran. Still, we must be careful, as it should not be regarded as truths or used on the basis of religious rulings. What we can say about Prophet Idris alayhi salam is that he was the forefather of Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. We are told in two separate verses the qualities Prophet Idris alayhi salam possessed that made his position elevated in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I quote, "And mention Ishmael and Idris and Dhul Kifl, all were of the patient." This was Surah Anbiya, Ayah 85. End quote. Also mentioned in the book the case of Idris. He was a man of truth and sincerity and a prophet, and we raised him to a lofty station. This was Surah Maryam, Ayat 56 and 57. Prophet Idris alayhi salam was a well-built man with a strong, broad chest and spoke with a low voice. It is also said he was tall and handsome and always showed calmness in his demeanor. Beyond his physical attributes, he was also intellectually curious. He pondered the vastness of the universe that his creator made, from the sky, the earth, the moon, the stars and the clouds. The tafsir of Ma'arif al-Quran mentions Idris alayhi salam as the first man who learned how to write with a pen. He had knowledge of astrology and mathematics and was credited as an inventor of many things. Birth and prophethood. He was born during the lifetime of Prophet Adam alayhi salam. It is believed he was from amongst the followers of Sheeth and ruled the progeny of Adam alayhi salam following the death of Sheeth. Idris alayhi salam was a sincere servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hence, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose him as a prophet and messenger and elected him as the ruler over the children of Adam. What began after the death of Sheeth is the people of Cain. Qabil lost guidance, and sin and corruption began increasing rapidly and spreading. Idris alayhi salam could not bear to watch his own people falling prey to the influence of shaitan. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed Prophet Idris to call for jihad, the holy war, against corrupt followers of Qabil. Idris was the first prophet and messenger in the history of Islam to perform jihad against corruption. As commended by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Idris gathered an army of men and battled in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala against the transgressors and emerged victorious. Prophet Idris alayhi salam's victory over transgressors. From a narration of the people of the book, which is also mentioned by many Quranic commentators, and Allah knows best, one day, Prophet Idris alayhi salam was informed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of a remarkable promise. He was told that he would receive the rewards of all the good deeds performed by each man until his last breath. This meant he would receive double the reward. Prophet Idris alayhi salam was overjoyed with the news and thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immensely for all his blessings. But Idris alayhi salam was quite old and he knew death was near. He was not ready to depart from this world as he enjoyed spreading goodness on earth. He had a friend from the angels whom he asked whether he could speak to the angel of death and see if it could be delayed. The angel told him that this was a matter with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but that there was no harm in trying. Thus Idris alayhi salam got on the angel's wing and ascended to heaven. He passed through the first, second and third heaven. However, upon reaching the fourth level, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded the angel of death to take his life. Idris's dear companion said to the angel of death, "Prophet Idris wants to know if you could prolong his life." The angel of death was stunned. He replied, "And where is Idris?" "He is upon my back," answered the angel. The angel of death replied, "How astonishing! I was sent and told to seize Idris's soul in the fourth heaven. I kept thinking how I could seize it in the fourth heaven when he was on earth. Subhanallah, he made it happen." Idris alayhi salam did not dispute. He simply accepted that if this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordained, so be it. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed, the angel of death took the soul of Idris in the fourth heaven. This remarkable event of Prophet Idris alayhi salam is confirmed as noted in Sahih Bukhari, hadith number 7517 and at-Tirmidhi 3157. When Prophet Muhammad ascended to the heavens during Isra and Mi'raj, he was greeted by various prophets who came before him. In the first heaven, he met Adam. In the second, Isa and Yahya. In the third, Yusuf. And in the fourth, Idris, may peace be upon them all. This context brings deeper meaning to the verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Idris alayhi salam was elevated to a high station. This elevation refers not only to his moral character and righteousness, but also to his literal ascension, where he was taken up to the fourth heaven. Following the death of Prophet Idris alayhi salam, corruption began to increase rapidly again. Several generations later, with no prophetic guidance, Shaitan succeeded in influencing the children of Adam to commit their first act of shirk, polytheism. Teachings of Prophet Idris alayhi salam. Being the one who first wrote with a pen, there are some quotes and sayings that are attributed as being from the teachings of Prophet Idris alayhi salam. And here they are. Number 1. Happy is he who looks at his own deeds and appoints them as pledgers to his Lord. Number 2. None can show better gratitude for Allah's favor than he who shares them with others. Number 3. Do not envy people for what they have, as they will only enjoy it for a short while. Number 4. He who indulges in excess will not benefit from it. And number 5. The real joy of life is to have wisdom.